I'm out here rollerblading today, and I thought I would bring you with me for a minute. It's probably a terrible idea to try to talk to my phone and rollerblade at the same time, but I'm going to do it anyway and just kind of avoid looking at you. It's gorgeous out. It's green and lush. We're out here at Seminole Park, just gliding along, and I've been preaching a lot this spring about moving your body to move your chi and help prevent chi stagnation. I've been talking a lot about the importance of taking deep diaphragmatic breaths in order to move your chi and to kind of massage your liver internally to prevent the liver from getting stagnant and congested and all kinds of things like irritability and premenstrual symptoms, inflammation, pain, headaches, kinds of like feeling overheated, feeling kind of uncomfortably hot, just exhausted, but anger, irritability are some of the main emotional patterns that show up with that. And when we're able to get out here and just move and breathe, it's a long way in helping to move that liver chi and keeping it from getting congested. But one of the key pieces with that is that we want to avoid really high impact activities, because though really aggressive activities can help to move blood circulation, it also can create a lot of adrenaline and a lot of stagnation in the body by way of impact. But if you're tired, or if you have depleted kidney chi, or you've been pushing really hard, doing a lot, it's best to find more flowy, low impact activities that aren't triggering a huge amount of adrenaline, that are also supporting the movement of chi. And traditionally, we think of yoga, we think of qigong, we think of swimming, things like that. But I would go so far as to say casual rollerblading falls into that category, which is what I'm up to today. I'm going real slow, you guys. This is not a high stakes activity. So the other thing, in addition to the natural tendency towards liver chi stagnation, because our liver energy is just so intense and surging this time of year, it's easy for it to get stuck. The other thing we have to keep an eye out for, that I've mentioned during the springtime, is wind, right? It's windy. The wind in Chinese medicine we consider a pathogenic factor. It's something that we have to pay attention to, because when we're in springtime, we're in this transition season, and the transition means that it can be both hot and cold, kind of alternatingly at different times in quick succession. And so what happens there is that we can be out in the heat doing an activity that kind of gets our heat stimulated, right? And our pores open when our body temperature gets up in order to cool us down. So we get sweaty. See my cool wrist guards. I've also got knee pads on. Safety first, guys. So when we're hot and we're sweaty and our body is seeking to cool us off, we open our pores. Our pores pop open. It's kind of like our own internal air conditioning. And the thing that happens is all of our heat rushes to the surface of the body, and we sweat, and then it cools us off, which is great. But when our pores are open and it's really windy outside, our pores being open is kind of like the windows being open, right? Like you're vulnerable to invaders. And one of those main invaders is wind. And I know that sounds weird, but what that means is when the wind comes in, we consider the pathology of wind. It means that the chi at our surface becomes dysregulated, and the surface of the body is controlled by the lungs. And so when the chi at the surface of our body is not in balance and is not circulating properly anymore because the wind came in and created it or stifled it or made it flow in a funny direction, that means that our respiratory system is often affected. So we get symptoms related to our lungs or related to our sinuses. We can get headaches that are along the pathway that runs from deep into our sinuses, up and over the head, into the base of the skull. And that whole area is particularly vulnerable to wind. So out here doing what I'm doing right now is actually the worst thing I could be doing in terms of wind. I'm sweating, I'm wearing a tank top, and as you can see, it's quite windy. So what am I going to do about that? How am I going to balance that out? Because Chinese medicine is all about balance, right? The positive that I'm getting out of this is I'm moving my liver qi. I'm getting exposed to all this beautiful greenery. Literally gazing upon the color green is helpful to your liver. Your liver is connected to your eyes. The eye, we say that the liver opens to the eyes. The liver is the organ that is in charge of healthy vision and healthy eyesight. So that connection works both ways. So when we are trying to strengthen the liver, we can think about what we're actually looking at. What we're consuming visually also has an effect on our liver, just in the same way that what we're consuming in our diet and mentally and emotionally. This is a treacherous part of the path. You guys, we're off-roading over here. So one of the things that we do, one of the literal prescriptions in Chinese medicine to help with treating the liver qi and helping to nourish and build depleted liver qi is actually to gaze upon the color green, to look out at the horizon at greenery and spend time just being with what you're seeing. That color green is the color of the liver. All the colors in Chinese medicine have an organ association. And so by consuming that green color visually and allowing your mind and your brain to process that, it has a positive effect on the liver qi and on your vision, but also that internal liver health. There's some cool birds up there. Back to the wind thing. What am I going to do about the fact that I am exposing myself to wind while I am out here with my pores open? First of all, I'm going to enjoy myself while I'm doing what I'm doing, because I think we need to find balance. I'm going to have a lot of deep breaths, and I'm going to enjoy what I'm seeing and what I'm smelling and just the freedom that I feel with this activity that I'm doing right now. And secondly, I'm going to listen to my body. When I start to get too tired, I'm going to call it and I'm going to go rest. That's really important with any kind of exercise and activity, especially when you are dealing with any kind of kidney qi deficiency or adrenal fatigue, because your tank isn't full yet. And if you're going through treatment to help to strengthen your kidney qi, to help to strengthen your adrenals, to balance your nervous system, if you're someone who's just pushing really hard and kind of burning the candle at both ends, which I definitely have been with everything going on lately, it's important to have that balance. It's not all or nothing. Little bits are what counts. Just moving your body, getting that stagnation away without overtaxing yourself and draining yourself even more is the goal here. So I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm going to listen to my body, and I'm going to call it when it's time to switch gears and rest. And then when I get home, I'm going to make myself some hot tea, and I'm going to throw a sweatshirt on, and I'm going to encourage a little bit of a sweat. And what that does is it helps to open up my pores and literally push the wind out. The sweat pushes the wind out. And if I have a little bit of a headache, or if I'm feeling a little bit sinusy, maybe a little allergy, which is another symptom of that type of wind exposure, I'm going to take some herbs to help that process. So it's literally just about, okay, so I pushed it a little bit. I got out in the wind. My body is telling me maybe I have a little headache. Maybe I have a little bit of sinus congestion, or feel a little allergy, or my eyes feel a little bit itchy, that type of thing. I'm just going to sweat it out. I'm going to push the wind out. I'm going to take some herbs that help to move some of that stagnation through this channel as a result of that wind. And that's it. If you do it right away and you just tend to what's happening immediately, you need one dose and just kind of a moment of self-care, and your body is able to correct whatever imbalance is showing up. It doesn't take a whole lot more than that. So that is what I wanted to share with you. And now I'm going to pay attention to my feet a little bit more. And happy spring, y'all.